Snake with Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Go by the name of Melvin Butler. In the 80s, he had a hell of a run. Legendary. Coming up in the on the east side in the 90s, and I don't mean the year 1990s. I mean in the streets. 97th Street to be particular. You know, my daddy house is on 99th. Before I ever got a chance to lay eyes on Melvin Butler, his name rung bells. You knew he was the man. I can't say in the 80s before he ended up going to the feds. Before he went to the feds, I can't say I knew him. I knew him, but I can't say he knew me. You feel me? He was the man. I was young, and I met him. I don't even know whether he would recall the times I met him. I doubt it. However, my father did have a hamburger stand in the hood at that time. I used to be in there working and hanging, and Melvin used to come up there quite often and come up there with a whole crowd and buy everybody something. So spend the big money, keep the change type nigga, right? So and why Melvin is relevant to Rayful Edmond is because Rayful Edmond, one of the biggest kingpins ever, that ended up going bad. Yeah, he went real bad, told on a whole lot of everything to get out. But anyway, Rayful Edmond, if you look at his life story as a kingpin, he was doing his thing in DC and he was on. He was the man. I saw a documentary that said as much back in the day. And as this documentary documented him getting his ducats, they told the story like he was doing all right. He was doing good, but he went to another level when he traveled to Los Angeles, California, and met someone by the name of Melvin Butler. So I happened to see this DVD actually when I was on the road with G Unit, with Young Buck in particular, on the tour bus. And, you know, back then it was DVDs. Every town we went to, we used to look up for the bootlegger and find some interesting content to watch on the bus. And back then, you used to have a whole lot of hood DVDs, Kingpin DVDs, and things of that nature. And they had a DVD about Rayful Edmond. And halfway through the DVD, we watching it. It has nothing to do with LA. It's all about from where he from, Washington, D.C., all that, whoop, wop, 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 whoop, wop, wop. He getting money, he in the streets telling his story. And like I told you, out of nowhere, the narrator said, and then he went to another level, and they blamed all that on Melvin Butler. So here I am with all these out-of-town niggas on the bus. I know the legacy of Melvin Butler locally, but I had no idea that he was known in that capacity of being the reason why a real big kingpin on the other side of the map was able to go from one level to the other. So I was proud to hear his name mentioned right then. So I kind of knew he was attached to Rayful Edmond. I ain't gonna lie, I had never realized that before that time. So Rayful Edmond came home a couple of months ago. But tonight, I imagine I'm gonna watch this video, the top 6 most notorious or dangerous, whatever it is, drug kingpins up out of Washington, D.C. And I just figured I'd watch it just to get some information or gain some knowledge about Rayful Edmond and his situation that I didn't know, because I knew my homeboy was affiliated with him, right? So lo and behold, I click on this thing, and of course, I heard Rayful Edmond name get mentioned. So they mentioned his name in the beginning, and I'm thinking, my homie Melvin Butler, I happened to meet him again and know him real. He went to jail in the late 80s, and he did 30 years. He got out in 2018, and that's the day I met him right here. That's him in the black and red. That's my homie ran from 89th Street on the other side, right? But this is our reunion day when, you know, by the time he did that time he came home, of course, he was fully aware of who I was because, you know, I had grown up and just not only what I've done in the industry, just in the neighborhood. He was fully aware of me. You know, he was fully aware of my family prior to going. But like I say, he was the legend at that time. I was younger. Can't acknowledge. I might want to ask him one day, I'm pretty sure he don't have nothing to remember me by back then. He probably just knew maybe that my daddy had a group of boys and a younger one, but he didn't know me, right? So, but at this date, this is our reunion in 2018 when he came home. So I'm watching the video thinking I'm gonna just learn some shit just related to Melvin Butler in general because of Rayful Edmond. Come to find out, I get 9 minutes and 28 seconds into this video, and they named Melvin Butler as number 4 on the top 6 Washington, D.C. most dangerous kingpin list. Me up. Because even though I knew he had put on for the Washington, D.C. kingpin, I would not think he would be considered a Washington, D.C. kingpin himself. He's from out here, born and raised, East Side 97th Street. You feel me? So for his name to make the list shocked me. So I listened to this segment and I said, damn, this would be some content I think it'd be interesting to react to. I had just spoken to him a few days ago. I have been honored that he's given me access to maneuver, drive, whatever type of situation we can facilitate as far as life rights, whether it be book, movie, documentary. He's leaving it in my hands. And shout out to Melvin for that. And it's crazy because I remember Wacko No 100 when we first started trolling, right? He tried to expose some text messages, act like I was begging him for a favor, right? To do something in behalf of my homeboy. When I told him, I said, I was in the car with him right now. I told him that, right? Text messages. I still had the text messages as well. So he tried to clown me for it. But what I was telling him was, hey, I'm in the car with Melvin Butler. He tried to swear up and down he's from LA and know all about LA. But him hearing the name Melvin Butler didn't even ring no bell to him, right? I told him in the car with him, bro. He got the I got the right to his movie She. Hey, I think we could run a play. I'm like, I think we could run a play. So matter of fact, when I call him, when I text him, I'm riding in the passenger seat with Melvin Butler, 2018. And me and him, this is when he first let me know I got action at doing the do, right? Getting it done, doing the get out with his shit. So at that time, I text Wack. I'm like, woo, wop, wop, woo, wop, wop. Bam, bam, bam. Me and Wack end up talking about it. He like, oh yeah, this the type of shit Nick Cannon into. He like to take stories like that and throw $1 million at it and produce that. I'm gonna holler at Nick Cannon. Da, 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 da. All right, for sure. Never no follow up, on my mama. I ain't tripping. I wasn't tripping. But later on, he tried to. This is what he was trying to troll me about. But you'll catch up later. But anyway, I want to get in and react and watch the segment about Melvin Butler with y'all. And you can look forward to some Melvin Butler content coming from my way. Like I say, he's a legend, kingpin, did 30 years in the feds. 2018, he came home on my mama. Guess what? The nigga been back to the feds since we took this picture. He's in the halfway house right now. And he didn't get caught up as bad as he did initially. However, I want to tell a story before we get in the video, bro. So imagine doing 30 years in the federal prison system. Getting out 2018. He pulled up on me, chop it up. He like, hey, need you to ride with me to Norwalk. I'm like, for sure. I'll ride with you. We go to Norwalk to go to the Hall of Records. He had to do some type of legal work with some papers and shit in it, right? He's in a 2-seater Porsche. This nigga that just did 30 years in a federal prison, hadn't been out 30 days, and he in a 2-seater, 17 black Porsche, right? So you can just imagine when you around a nigga that did 30 years, you want to be on your best behavior when it comes to starting any trouble, getting involved in anything, any negative energy, doing anything that might cause him to risk his freedom. You want to make sure his time with you is free of all that. So mind you, that's my mind frame. So we go to Norwalk and we handle the business. We're leaving Norwalk, bro. As soon as we get in the car, we're on Alondra Boulevard. Now, mind you, Alondra Boulevard runs from Norwalk through Compton, down through Gardena, and I think it changes right in Compton or Gardena, right? And it's something else. I know Compton Boulevard turns into Marine. I'm just not sure how far Alondra goes. Those who are not from Southern California probably cannot really make sense as to how much distance that is, right? Basically, Alondra Boulevard goes a long way. And Norwalk to Compton is separated from about maybe 10 to 20 minutes of drive time. If you're in Norwalk on Alondra, trying to get to Compton, it's going to take you between 10 and 15 minutes straight shot. So we get in the car, we leaving the Hall of Records. Soon we get on the Alondra car, my phone rang. Now, mind you, my oldest daughter had just graduated high school, 2018. Her first job was at the Compton Airport on Alondra Boulevard, about 10, 15 minutes from where I was located on Alondra Boulevard with Melvin Butler, the drug lord Kingpin that was fresh home from doing 30 years. I'm on my best behavior. Don't want to get him involved in anything. Plus, I mean, I just live like on my best behavior. But I say all that because what happened next, I would never imagine. So answer the call, get in the car, answer the phone on speaker. My daughter sounds as if, you know, especially if you're a parent, when your child call you and they, Daddy, I'm talking about she is just hysterical, crying, can't barely make her words out. And only thing I can make out, man, my job, my face, talking crazy. So I'm like, all right, I hang up. I tell Cuz, now mind you, he just did 30 years. He ain't been out 30 days. I say, Cuz, can you take me to my car? He just heard everything. He like, no, man, you want to go? I'm like, yeah. Psh, man, salute, Melvin. To the Compton Airport we go. He see what I'm on. Now, mind you, I've been to her job at the Compton Airport before this. She works in a restaurant portion. And she's like a waitress at the restaurant. Now, shout out to Robin Petgrave, who had the Tomorrow's Aeronautical Museum at the Compton Airport at one point. That's who gave her the job upon my request, the first job. It's my broski. He had a program where he was allowing a lot of youth to be employed up there. He mentored a lot of youth up there through the years, right? So he had this one chef who was up in age, like our age, early 40s, late 30s type cat. And he was like an African, black, fat dude, no disrespect. Might be the most beautiful thing to have yellow eyes. Mine aren't that clear. But he was that typical, like super dark with that yellow eye African that looked like like I'm talking about like the Cliche 93 logo. His eyes was yellow like that. And he was black. He was the chef. And at the restaurant at her job, and the way he had at the airport, Robin had very creatively had a very small airplane front head gutted out and turned into a kitchen, and he had it all set up for like a restaurant. So when we pull up to the, now you know your child call you like that, bro. I had seen this dude before, mind you. I'm glad I thought of this, cuz first time I encountered this dude, bro, I didn't like him. Because when my daughter first got the job, I called myself trying to pop up and surprise her, catch her at work, and orders, right? Now, mind you, this restaurant is a outdoor setting where you sit down and eat. So I came in, I ordered, and after I ordered, I realized she wasn't at work. Bam. But fuck it, I've been knowing her boss, the owner of the establishment, before he was even there for years. I'm going to support anyway, eat my meal. Now, as I'm sitting here eating my meal, I see this man that I described with these yellow eyes, this black dude who seems old enough like myself to be all these employees' parents sitting at a table away from me. And he saw me eating and he asked me, how you like it? He was the chef. I told him I liked it and all that. He has no idea who I am. However, I had asked another one of the young ladies that was waitressing, was my daughter there, the new girl. I think my daughter had only did one half a shift at this point. So I was just excited to get up there and be at work with her, right? On my mama. So the other young lady, she's like, oh no, the new girl, she's not here. Okay. So I'm sitting here. But the chef do have no idea. So now as I'm eating, he's sitting like 2 tables away from me. And I hear him saying this to these 2 young ladies who look like they could not be no older than 17, 18. Like, yeah, man. It was back in the day when I might do the wrong accent, but the words he was saying was, yeah, back in the day, I used to sell nickel bag. Yeah, we sell big nickel bag. Like, and it was so braggadocious. I was imagining him having this attitude in that setting, talking to my baby like that. I wouldn't like it. So I just noticed that about his character, that he was trying to make himself seem like he was tough and hard to these young ladies. And lo and behold, he ended up getting fired for doing some weird shit, like stuffing his tongue down one of them young girls' mouth in the long run after all this. So that energy I saw where he was trying to relate to these females and it irritated me, it was something to it. So anyway, we driving down the laundry, I'm steaming. By the time we pull up into the airport, Melvin driving, he had on a baseball cap. But I get out before the car even stopped rolling, bro. Soon as he got slow enough to where I felt I wasn't doing nothing goofy, safe, I opened the door without thinking. I'm out the car, turn my hat back, and I'm moving full speed toward the little airplane, which I know is the kitchen. So I go in there, I open the door unannounced, wham, he right there. And it was a little female right there. She seen the energy in my face. I'm like, excuse me, baby. She come out, well, now I look at this nigga. He's standing there, he preparing food, but I see about 4, 5 big ass butcher knives. So I think, I'm like, hey, let me holler at you outside. I'm like, no, I said, hey, can I holler at you outside? He's like, yeah, sure. Mind you, I don't know if he putting 2 to 2 together. That I know he probably remembers seeing me from eating a week ago, but I don't know if he putting it together that whatever he just went through with this young lady, I'm connected to that. So I step out. I didn't want to get caught up with the knives, some big ass Ginsus or chef knives, right? So we step out. As soon as he come out, bro, on my mama. And this is something I don't do. I exercise a lot more restraint, control, and risk, because out of caution, I don't engage in intense conversations with men face to face. That caused me to get fired on in 9th grade, which caused me to purpose in myself. I never got hit again first in a fight until I was 30-something years old. That's neither here nor there. So I don't practice being in a man's face, exchanging any type of aggression. Once within swinging range and his aggression, I swing all my life. However, this day, because the job setting, the minors, my daughter, cameras, all that, I was coming because he hadn't touched my daughter. But apparently he had gotten her face and told her some shit that, he shouldn't have told her, whatever. So now I'm in his face. Like, nigga, don't you ever whoop, 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 whoop. I don't want to be too detailed, but I'm putting it on extra thick. Letting him know. I'm like, nigga, her name is Curtis. My name Curtis. Nigga, you know what? I'm putting extras. You know how I get when I get creative with my talking. I'm angry. I'm making him see. Then I see her in my peripheral. I'm like, matter of fact, I'm like, come here, baby. Apologize to her right now. He apologized to her. But I say all that to say this. By the time I hopped out that car and was coming out that little kitchen and got in that man's face, when I looked up, Melvin Butler was right here like Puto. Matter of fact, hold on. Man, if I get to like Puto would be, but matter of fact, not like Puto. Because Puto, I wouldn't have been able to talk to dude. He would have got off. But that wasn't Melvin Place. After doing 30 years in prison, He wasn't out 30 days. He was only with me about an hour and 30 minutes, if that. And he was ready to throw it all away and crash out with me, bro. So
Nigga in that puzzle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga Spider Low. Spider Low, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low, that's my nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low. Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke, on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nate Bud, C-Mac, shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nate Bud, on Hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, cred.
point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.